Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Hello.
In this episode, Pete and I are going to talk about a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Of course, we're talking about Star Wars. It's the game of epic battles. It is Armada.
The game's contents.
We're going to talk about the core box mainly here. About what you get with just the initial game.
Yeah, the first thing you'd probably strike you is the awesome huge ship models that you get. That's the first thing that jumps out at you.
Yeah.
So in the core box you get one of these, which is basically a Victory class Star Destroyer. That's the big thing that you get in the core box. You get these guys. This is Rebel stuff, so Sal will tell you about them.
Yeah, you get the Nebulon B, you get the Corvette. So
this is the frigate, the Corvette.
They're relatively small compared to the Star Destroyer. You get them. You get for the Rebels. You get Luke in his X-wing.
You get a ton of X-wing squadrons, which are 3 little ships on a small base. You get a ton of TIE fighters.
TIE fighters, X-wings.
You'll notice some of the stuff here that we've got here is from the expansions, but that's basically what you get. You get your X-wings, your TIEs, you get your Star Destroyer and your frigate and your Corvette.
Yeah, you get the rules, of course. They throw you dice. They throw you. You pretty much get everything to play the game, bare bones. Would you say compared to X-Wing, we're only going to compare it to X-Wing because it's obviously the same company and some of the rules overlap but not many. Is this a value compared to X-Wing?
Yeah, I think the price has gone up. I mean, this is about what you can get it for around about £60, something like that. But you get more stuff in it.
Yeah, would you say you straight away get as much gameplay?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you do. It's I mean, you get more. I think because there's almost 2 games in one here, which we'll go into later. There's 2 sub games to it. There's 2 levels of play. These guys, the big ships, and then there's the small ships. So it's not just X-Wing is one level of play. This is almost got 2 levels of play which interact, but they touch on each other, but they interact in quite an interesting way.
They do. As well as that, of course, you need this game to play. You'll need the core set to play because you'll get all these the rulers, the bendy.
Interesting change from X-Wing, that one. It's actually a movable ruler.
A movable ruler. The quality of it.
It's okay. You've got to get your hand in using it. So basically, you'll. The basic way of manoeuvring is you choose what you're going to do before you put it down. The rules give you opportunities to change this by a number of notches. You stick it down by the ship you want to move, and there's notches to line it up in true epic style, and then you move your ship like that.
You've got corresponding speeds.
Yeah, because of the notches. I mean, one thing that you've got to watch out for is the notches. You've got to make sure the notch is fully engaged. Otherwise, there's a little variance on where you're going to end up. When you put it down, it's kind of flapping around a bit. It's a bit like one of those plastic snakes.
There's a certain amount of give. I know some people on the back of these, you'll get these little spoke parts, and people have talked about how they've either worn away from overplay, or how they can break because it's only thin plastic.
It's not mega rigid plastic. It's it's got a bit of bend to it.
It's good, but what I would actually hope for in the future is that FFG release higher quality rulers that we're allowed to buy. That would be excellent.
Yeah.
As well as that, with the core set, you're going to get which turn it is, the blue or red. So you can see that these guys have got little red activations or blue activations.
Well, it's FFG, isn't it? So you get the usual sheets and sheets of car punch tokens.
Yeah, absolutely, tons of stuff. Your damage decks, which are actually brilliant. They look pretty future-proof too. Yeah. Unlike X-Wing.
Dials. These dials are for the big ships only. They're about the speed. So this ship's currently going at speed 2. Whatever. So that's your dial. The manoeuvres are actually not manoeuvres in this game. They're commands. So it's like a little plastic wheel with an FFG.
You're going to tell your guys what you want to do. They're good. They're actually pretty good quality. They feel solid. The card of the asteroids and bases and things, good. You know. It's,
It's just same as X-Wing, really, isn't it? It's,
decent.
thick.
And as well as that, you get these cards here. So there's various different sizes of cards. You get there's upgrades to the ships and characters, and so you get to for every ship you'll get a various bar of upgrades you can put on them.
Similar to X-Wing, you can upgrade ships.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's one of the most similar things about it. So these cards, all good quality. On the back they're the Rebels, the Imperials have their own ones, obviously. And you get all these little cards. There's tons of tokens, which is good too.
You get nearly enough dice to play the game.
Nearly,
not quite.
Nearly, there's quite a lot you'll end up with.
You get enough for one player to do most effects that they'd ever need.
Yeah, and as long as
we've got 2 sets of dice going on here because I bought a set as well. But out of the core box, you're going to be saying, can I borrow red dice, can I borrow blue dice, all that sort of thing.
Four dice.
That's pretty standard though. I mean, they do sell sets of dice separately for about, I don't know, £5, £6, £7, something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go. So it's not a major problem, but it's just nearly enough dice.
Well, we have to point out, it is a big box too. It's a pretty big box, unlike the X-Wing one, which is quite a thin box with 3 ships in it. I think that this is pretty good value. As much as it is, it's pretty good value.
Yeah,
to,
it's worth the money, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, we go to our next topic.
The game rules.
Initial impression on the rules. I played one intro game about 4 months ago. Today we've played a big 300-point sort of tournament style game with everything switched on, upgrades, characters, the lot. On that sort of learning curve, I've found it to be probably about twice as hard to get into as X-Wing was. It's not a bad thing though, because there just seems to be a lot more depth to it. But it is a little bit what's going on. It's not as simple to pick up as X-Wing was. Mainly because there is this two layers of play going on. There's the big ships, which are more complicated than X-Wing ships because of the command stack. On the bigger ships, you'll be planning. Each turn you use the top command, and then you add a new command at the bottom of the stack. So basically, with a big ship, you are trying to think a little bit 3 turns in advance because it's a huge behemoth and it's like driving an oil tank around. So there's that sort of thing going on with the big ships. The small ships, the squadrons, are much more freeform. They can move where they want within a certain distance. They've got 360 line of sight. They can go anywhere and do anything. Once they stick to each other, the squadrons, once 2 enemy squadrons are near each other, they tend to have to stay there and battle it out. They become engaged. Mm-hmm. So there's all that sort of thing going on. There's your character cards, your effects, your combo effects, and all the rest of it. So it's a little bit bewildering in the early games.
It is.
Compared to X-Wing, but it's all written in the usual FFG sort of quality.
It is.
You've got a question, if you read the rules long enough, you find the answer. I think we didn't find anything that couldn't be answered out of the rules.
No, there's a few, like most FFG games, there's a few ambiguous sentences here and there, such as if it says you. We were looking at the Paragon, the upgrade for this big ship, and it's like, if you have attacked a ship, does that mean you as a player?
If
or
you attack a ship that's been attacked already previously, you may add
a black die. It's add a black die, but it's sort of.
So we were like, well, is that you as in the ship, or is it you as in the player? Weren't sure, but and that was the only issue really out of a long game.
Typically, I think the game flows quite well, and you'll probably root up a few little problems. I would say future releases, you might see some abilities maybe clash with other abilities too.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's very it's combo city, this game. So Soontirfell does one thing if you're near another guy, and he does something else, and so on and so on. I know a lot of guys really love that sort of thing. It wears me out a bit, but I tend to just go with simpler lists, that just go forwards and shoot people and lose usually. But if there's combo building aplenty, if you're into that sort of thing. And you could just go with TIE Swarm and a couple of big ships if you wanted to.
It does actually seem like any list is actually pretty viable.
It seems balanced, first view.
I do like the way the ship costs seem. They're not limiting themselves on it has to be this many dice and this many points. They really kind of just said, right, whatever it can be. It seems like in the future, if they really want to, they can bring out a ship that well, you know that the big ship's coming out with the all 9 dice.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I mean, that's great that they just.
There'll be even bigger ships when they come out. I think there's
and
a
I
huge
hope,
Star Destroyer.
I hope they start saying, you know what, whatever, 15 dice.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter, but that ship costs me 400 points.
Yeah.
And to put it on the table.
I mean, the things that shocked us when we first played it, these guys, the big ships, they can shoot twice, but they must shoot out of 2 different arcs. You can attack another ship, as you'd expect, you roll some dice, blah blah blah. If you're attacking squadrons, then basically within the range, which is the usual X-Wing sort of range ruler, you roll 1 blue dice for every single squadron that's within range.
So this guy would be going, yeah, who's an arc? Okay, I'll hit him.
So although I'm rolling 3 red and 3 blue against an enemy big ship, against squadrons I'm rolling a blue on him, a blue on him, a blue on him, blue on him, and so on. So that's a massive part of the game in terms of you don't want all your squadrons in one arc of a ship because they're all going to be taking the blue dice.
Yep.
We sort of did a double take at that when we first read it.
Oh yeah, it didn't seem
really?
believable.
Shoot everybody?
But you know, playing it again, it does seem like it's only 1 blue dice.
It's only 1 blue dice, so you hit nothing.
There's only one part of the dice that actually does anything. So it's actually not even that.
So
good.
It's the old cinematic, loads and loads of lasers coming out, but nobody's being hit by anything. So it's all very fluff driven as well, and you can visualise the battles as they go out.
In our game we just had, I was telling Pete I was getting my guys into him to get a repair.
And I was like, what rules that? And
Pete was looking for repair rules, and I said,
no, that's just a
saying
dream.
what they're doing.
Good.
Yeah, I really like this game, the way it interacts with the missions. So every start of the game, there's a first and second player. So whoever's got the initiative, they haven't just said it's a dice roll. Whoever goes first is going to win the game. They've really tried to balance it with giving the second player quite a lot of tricks. So to start with, the second, you're both going to get you got a deck each that you're going to read through with all these missions. You pick one from each category. There's 3 categories, and the second player then presents the first player with 3 of these cards. The first player then decides which of these strategies he's going to choose. Each strategy typically favours the second player. So
typically, yeah. So the first player can go, ooh, that one's bad, that one's bad, that one's okay. I'll go for that one.
So this is where it comes into play again. With if you make a squad, you're playing a 300-point game. You can purposely put your list 295, so you'll attempt to get to be the person who gets the choice of
it's kind of like an expanded version of X-Wing where you'd knock 3 or 4 points off your list to try and steal the initiative. But it's a bit more strategic, isn't it, in this game? You know, because then there's 3 different routes down which the game will go. Then it's a really good mechanic actually. Yeah.
It's not even a be all and end all these cards because there's a lot of.
They kind of if the one we played was whoever's whoever's got the most big ships closest to the space station gets 20 points around.
20 points around,
which is the equivalent of a decent squadron,
a
decent one of these. Or a character. So it was good. So I went for that, and still, I got 3 of the tokens didn't I around the space station, but you wiped me out.
Rule wise, comparison. I would probably compare. Well, you know what? It's easy to compare it to X-Wing because it's got crits and damages on it. But I think it's closer to traditional wargame in a sense.
Well, there's no defense dice.
There's no defense dice, but that's the way traditional wargames tend to work, like your Tides of Iron or whatever. You know, the hex-based games without being a hex-based game. So it's a good blend of quite a lot of types of games. I've never played anything like it, but I'm sure. The other space games, so what's the
well, a lot of them are hex-based, aren't they? Battlefield Gothic. Never played that, to be honest.
I'm wondering how similar. I'm guessing it's not similar at all. GW like their D6, so this is just quite unique. I mean, I played the Battles of Westeros game, and this is. I feel quite similar to that in a lot of respects, with damage taken on your men.
That's tile based, isn't it, or hex based,
So, I think it's got a good blend of that.
I mean, there is one bugbear, I suppose, that's, it's the flimsiness of the miniatures, when you're doing your activations, things like that. So if I activate this X-Wing squad, or if he's wounded, the way these work is, that might be unactivated to show he's been activated this turn, I have to do that. If he gets wounded, there's a little dial here. I need to turn that to whatever wounds he's left on. To do any of that in any kind of battle, I've got to pick the miniature right up off the table, mess about with it. Right, he's been activated. Later on, he's been wounded. Yeah, that doesn't normally happen. And then I've got to put him down as close as possible to where I remember it was. You know, which you can do it over there, but in a I mean, it's fine in a garage game if you like, but in a tournament, I can see a little window for gripes, moans, and grief there.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
I'll put him up, right, I've
else.
activated him, I've shot you, and then I'll put him there, you know, and it's like, hang on, he wasn't there, yeah he was, so on and so on, you know. Just a little thing, and that's the one thing that the rules doesn't cover, that's got to be a, you know, decent players playing each other, I suppose, hasn't it?
Well,
and people have not got to try and...
that issue in particular, I've seen trying to be fixed with people putting rings down and things.
That's great, but if you've got a situation like this, your only option is to...
I understand.
You know, you get some sort of snooker cue thing, and it's... but it's not a game breaker. I mean, if this guy's within one of him, he's engaged, if I need to pick him up and activate him, I'm not going to get away with putting him further than one away, because everybody knows he was engaged, so there's going to be a little bit of error introduced there. These are the same, similar to, you know, the Slave 1 or the Falcon in X-Wing, aren't they, in terms of...
They're nice and big.
Accuracy,
Do you know what? In all my games, I've never actually had an issue.
No, true.
But maybe I need to play the
We've not been through the white hot fires of a tournament yet.
Play the wrong people.
Yeah, we all know them. Say no more.
Yeah. So, but the rules, the core mechanic, are pretty good. The rule book, I actually don't remember reading it, but I know I read.
Well, there's a learn to play book, which does teach you everything you need to know to play. There's the rules reference, similar to Imperial Assault, which just lists all the rules alphabetically and what they are and what they do.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Please, other games companies, please start doing that too.
And then, but Sai tells me during this game that there's some tournament rules which I've not seen.
Yep.
Because I've not got around to it, and they do override some of the things in the Learn to Play booklet.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the instance was, but there was one where it clearly says one thing in the Learn to Play tutorial booklet, but tournament game says no, you don't do that. You do something completely different.
Similar with X-Wing. They want you to play it instead of holding your hand and playing it. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. Learn to play it properly. Overall, very clean game. I'm hoping that there's several more waves, but let's talk about more of that in a second.
Yeah.
Value.
So moving on to the value that you get with the game and the expansions. So we paid about, I don't know what you paid for the core game side, that's 60 quid?
That's about 60, 70.
60, 70, yeah, depending on where you go and how much discount you can get.
And they're 30 odd, so...
About 30 quid for these, about 18 to 20 for these, and about 18 for the smaller big ships. You can also get packs of expanded fighters. I forget what they come in at, but basically I bought everything in the first new wave of Imperial stuff, and it came, I bought one of everything, and it came to about the same price as the core game.
I felt that too.
So I bought all the Rebel stuff, same again, so you double in the cost of the core game to get a new wave. These things tend to be quite standardised, so the next wave, if I bought all the Imperial stuff, it's probably going to be about the same. I think there's a big Star Destroyer coming out, which is about 40 quid.
Yeah, it's about 40 something maybe, yeah. So yeah, you're going to be looking at that. Then there's that Scum and Villainy thing, and then you got your individual Decimator or whatever that ship's called. The thing that... the pointy triangle ship.
The Decimator thing, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Oh, and the Raider.
The Raider, that's the word I'm looking
for.
So that'll be another 20 odd. So yeah, you add it up, you're looking at another 70, 80 quid.
And at the moment, the official tournament level of play is 300 points, isn't it? And I think for the first few weeks, when only the core game was out, it was 200, was it?
180.
180. So basically, each wave comes out, it's stepping up. So when the next wave finally hits, it'll be 400.
Yeah.
And is that the cap?
400.
That's the cap, unless they release some bigger level of play like Super Epic, you know.
I think 400. I mean, we've done 300, and 300 feels like it's good. I'm really looking forward to 400. I think it could do with that. Just
just expand the options, doesn't it? Yeah.
There's something about when you're playing an epic game. there's something about it that you're just saying, I want to actually put as much stuff on the board as possible. It's epic. Of course, you want to put as much on as possible.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to, you know,
well, value. I mean, people. It depends how much money you've got. If you're loaded, the value's great. You know, because the money means nothing to you, does it? And if you're not loaded, you'd be very carefully picking what you buy. I'm buying just Imperial, so I'm buying just.
Yeah.
So we'll have everything between us.
Here's something I've kind of felt. I don't really see the value of duplicating up on the ships. You know, especially knowing that Wave 2 is coming out and Wave 3 inevitably. I feel a little bit like wary that I don't really want to start stockpiling too many of these Wave 1 ships, like the Corvettes or whatever, and then realise that, hang on, these are junk, and you know, I've got loads of these ships that I can't really use. So, I mean, I do. The point of buying one is certainly there.
Okay, yeah. Because it brings stuff that nothing else has got.
Buying several, I'm not sure. Unless you're a real kind of a tournament player who absolutely needs to make that build. But you know, at the same time, I think that's a boring way to play the game. That you never experiment outside the box of like, I wonder what this guy does. You know, are B-wings any good? Could you use this with this? You know, I think there's an element to gaming in general that you should be experimenting with different things as opposed to if I just use a fleet of 10 of them, is that any good?
Well, I've ended up with 2 of these, 1 of these, and all the Imperial fighters, and I think that's a nice fluffy sort of list. These are kind of ships of the line, aren't they? You would get a few of these in a massive fleet.
They're horrendous.
This is a bit more specialised and nippier. You'd probably have 1 or 2 of those knocking around. The big thing that's coming out, you'd probably just get 1 of those in any fleet, and 1's enough, you know.
Yeah.
And then fighters sprinkled to mix squadrons.
I think it's great. I think that you need to.
The Rebel fleet, there's just that scene in Return of the Jedi, you know, where they're massing at Sullust or whatever it is, and there's 1 of every damn ship you could ever imagine, you know, except for the fighters. So it should be a ragtag fleet, you know, with the Rebel.
I feel when you're playing,
a right mixture.
When you're playing this, I can actually feel the Return of the Jedi kind of style gameplay that they're really going for, and I think
these would have a little cloud of these waiting, you know, lurking, and why they're not engaging and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they're following the fluff very closely, as always, as FFG always do, you know. So it's good.
So for me, I think this game is a serious hit. Like, this to me is actually a game that's it's made on my level. It's made for me. Little improvements that I'd like to see. I'd like to see them come out, like that we could actually buy them separately.
Yeah, these will wear down, I think.
Maybe, as we were talking about earlier, some sort of gaming aids. Some sort of aids that, at the moment you obviously get the little the squares that you can pick these up and down or whatever. But just some more things to try and help us play the game better, be more accurate, because it's a great looking game. It comes pre-painted, which everyone loves.
The big ships do, the little ships don't, but they're tiny. They're in the right sort of colours to begin with, creamy white and imperial grey. Dead easy to paint.
They are. Did you ever notice the X-Wing quality is actually a lot worse than the other ships?
That's strange. Must be the first first castings.
I just noticed that tonight. But yeah, this game, the actual gameplay is really up my alley. It's there's no guess maneuver to it. It's quite heavy in the dice, and you have to start thinking 2 turns ahead. What do you want to do? And that's the way the game rolls.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Great game. So yeah, that's it. That's our thoughts on Armada. You loved it too?
Yeah, it's big thumbs up, definitely.
Yeah, big thumbs up.
Yeah, not super cheap, but worth it.
But yeah, super. Alright, well, if you like this video and you want to see more, please write your comments below. Tell us what you think, what else you want to see. Anyway, from us, see you later.